Welcome into another edition of United Spurs of America. Joined today with Sean from Spurs Talk Show. You know him, you love him. It is myself, no Michael today. He's playing top golf with coworkers. He's mingling. He's rubbing shoulders with the higher ups, the executives. But I hope y'all are doing well. A little bit of a slow news day in the Tottenham world, except if you want to think about the fact that we signed Niall John and Matthew Craig from the academy. We signed them to some kind of contract. I don't know what kind of contract, but we did sign some players. This is something I did want to bring a little bit of attention to, just because I am harsh on the club and the way that the pathway, and we have frustrated youngsters, i.e. like Romain Mundle leaving. So I will give a little bit of credit here. But I hope you're doing well. Please do hit that like on your way in. I got a couple of topics to talk about. We're not going to be on for too long, but we will be on for a good time, and I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to bring a quick something before everyone here goes and checks out the Couve and the Kang and the Couve and the Kang and the Couve, three Spurs boys. It's going down in an hour 45 from now. So an hour 45 from now, make sure you tune in. Big up yourself over there, but I hope you're doing well. Shout out to the Patreon members as well. Your support does not go unnoticed, and we appreciate you to the fullest. I want to say big up to Gregor. You get the first place prize today. You have made it first into the chat. I hope you're doing well today. Says if Kane leaves, replace him with Tony and Evan Ferguson. That's yeah, okay. Mick Hermelick says, good evening, United Spurs America. Good evening, Mick. Hope you're doing well. Big up Tot Spurs. First YouTube member of the chat checking in. Big up Jacob, Mike, and chat. And big up yourself right now, Tot Spurs. Hope you're doing well. Big up Bobby K. Sorry for going late, y'all. Big up Nick Brown. Been seeing you commenting around on the channel. Big up yourself right now. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Good evening, Sean, says Mick. Bobby K showing some love. Big up, Sean. There we go. Hey, Shawnee. Big up, Jacobs and Sean. Sean, before I keep going through these comments, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? How are you, Jacob? You okay?
Yeah, it's a easy Saturday day. My son was a little moody this morning, so that was fun dealing with the grumpy toddler. But his birthday's coming up soon, so can't be too mad at him.
How old is he?
He's about to turn 3.
Oh,
3 years old.
Yeah. Terrible. No, it's the terrible twos.
It's the terrible twos, and they are terrible. That's not a myth. They start to develop little personalities, and with that comes little anger, little mad babies, and so it's fun.
Because they're frustrated because they want to be able to let you know how they feel, but they haven't developed the ability to do it. Kind of thing.
Yeah, they can't communicate it. Yeah, so they get all frustrated, and yeah. But
I mean, man, I'm turning 40 next year, and I am so far away from the first stepping stone towards children. Like I'm not even dating anyone, let alone girlfriending, wifing. Kidding.
Have you tried the social apps? That's where I met my wife. Was on Tinder way back in the day. Man.
My 20s, I was an absolute fiend. My 30s, I calmed down a little bit, but then focused on my career. And then all of a sudden, my 40s are rocking up, and now I'm just like a content creator and just a bit of a recluse. COVID ruined me, so now I don't want to leave the house. And if I don't want to leave the house, how am I going to meet some nice little mouse?
They say 40 is the new 20, and
yeah, but I don't want to be the guy who has like a 10-year-old playing football on the pitch and me be the 60-year-old daddy. I don't want to be that guy. So I feel like kids are going to pass me by. But we didn't come here to talk about my lonely lifestyle. We're talking.
Hey, I enjoy lifestyle. It's there is lifestyle when you think about what it has on a player like Kane. He has a 4th child on the way, building a house in London. Maybe speculation.
He's building a house
near Chelsea, right?
Chelsea's West London, which is one direction, but Cobham is where they train, and Cobham is literally about, as the bird flies, about 2 miles in that direction. And Virginia Water is where he's building a house, which is about, as the bird flies, about 3 or 4 or 5 miles, maybe that direction. So I'm right in the heart of Chelsea.
You are
territory.
You should get a drone and do some spying and see how long it takes them to shoot you down out the skies. But you could get some cool footage.
absolutely.
That's really interesting. What do you think? I mean, just real quick, while I do pivot this conversation towards Spurs, do you think the lifestyle that Kane lives, him having the children, another one on the way, building a house from a bird's flying of a couple miles, what do you think? Does that have an effect, or is it just a matter of, you know what, money kind of pats over everything, and money will take care of whatever problem you're having, especially when you're at that level?
Wait, what are you asking me whether or not the reason why he's moving to Virginia Water is linked to him moving to Chelsea? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, no. That these outside things being family, him building the house, these factors
Oh,
that we're
generally,
mentioning, could those potentially be reasons why he would stay in Tottenham rather than
yeah,
going abroad?
yeah.
Does that kind of nullify? To me, I felt like what nullified him going abroad was when the domino of Kylian Mbappe saying, "I'm not going to renew with you, PSG," and then PSG saying, "All right, well, we're going to look at selling you." So once that happened, the Real Madrid thing with Kane, it all went quiet, and then now I'm looking at it like, could these reasons be a reason that he want to stay? Could he just go for the free on Chelsea anyway because now his house is
He's
so
never going to go to
close?
Chelsea, mate. He's never, ever, 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 ever going to go to Chelsea. Forget
Never.
about it. I put my life, well, I put my life on it. That's a ridiculous thing to say. I put a large amount of money.
I say ridiculous thing.
It is a ridiculous thing to even put out there. He's never going to go to Chelsea and do what Sol Campbell did to Tottenham. He would never do it. And there's not that big of a difference between the Sol Campbell legend that was and the Harry Kane legend that is moving to a rival. There's no chance. He will never go to Chelsea. I would bet an absolute fortune on it. Not my life. That would be mad. But forget that whole rumor. Darren Bent on TalkSport, Muppet, trying to. I've never heard Darren Bent say anything even credible. I don't even understand why the man's employed by TalkSport. But for him to say, "Oh, I think that Harry Kane's moving to Virginia Water to because he wants to move to Chelsea," it's absolutely it's the pit. It's almost as bad as one of the videos that I put out on my channel today in terms of clickbait journalism.
Ooh.
But they have an
What's the
integrity
title?
that they have to upkeep. I don't. I'm just a poxy little channel. Right?
What's the what'd you title? What's the clickbait title that you used?
The Sun newspaper put out an article that Tottenham are going to smash the transfer record for João Palhinha. So I'd already done my video today this morning, but this morning's one was bad enough. Listen, I don't want to be known for clickbait, but this morning's one was bad enough in looking into, and it was the Daily Express that were talking about. I can't remember what the story was now. It was so long ago. It was. I'll tell you right now. Harvey Barnes chooses Tottenham. That was the Daily Express story. So I put that one out this morning, and everyone gave me a little bit of a hard time for that being clickbait. And I went, you want to see some clickbait? I'll show you some clickbait. And I went and found an article from the Sun that said that Tottenham are going to smash their transfer record.
I love it. Just say, I got a source. My source says. You don't have to divulge that the source is the Sun.
The second one, I literally felt so bad about it that I put a clickbait warning with two massive warning signs on the thumbnail, so that everyone. And then I even went into the description and said, "Massive clickbait warning. Please do not criticize me. I'm just going on what's in the news." So I had to kind of distance myself from the credibility of the article, but.
Well, they do.
Yeah, Tottenham. Sorry, Chelsea and Harry Kane is never going to happen.
I think that's just like the easy way, right? The easy connection to make. Like geographically, he will be physically closer. He's planning to have his future family live closer in proximity to this training center. I feel like it's just kind of easy, right? It's the easy route rather than the researched route. It's one of those where it sounds like, oh, I have this insider information, but actually you just looked at a map and said, oh, nice, he's X amount of kilometers away from the training center. I want to say big up to everyone.
Like Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch lived in Virginia Water. He might still live there, I'm not sure, but he lived in Virginia Water when he played for Tottenham. So, it's not really that big of a deal. It's still only 45 minutes away by car to Tottenham's training ground on a good day. So I just think it's a nothing story. Almost like both of the stories I put out on my channel today.
I mean, if you think about it, if you saw the video from Tottenham Hotspur, the players arriving in their car, I would imagine if I'm Harry Kane, and even if I'm, say, 40 minutes away from the training center, how much do you think it costs to have a guy to just drive you and you can just relax in the car for 40 minutes, catch up on whatever you know what I mean? I think about for a player whose constant
Yeah.
day must be getting pulled in this direction, phone calls of this, quotes on that, thinking about this, and to have that alone time in the car where you can just sit in the back of the car, relax, look at your phone a little bit, maybe listen to some music, and just no family, no teammates, no coaches, just a
Let me ask
dude
you this,
driving your
Jacob.
car.
Do you think there's a difference in the ambition of a player? Can you draw any correlation at all? Tell me if I'm being mad here. Between a player that drives to the training ground and someone who gets a lift to the training ground.
I would imagine it's nicer to get a lift, like, or to have someone drive your nice car, because I think that's what we see. Unless the car service that Tanguy and Ndombele uses, they just
Now
have those
that,
Range Rover.
let's be honest, we got to talk about this. This guy came out.
That is a topic. That is a topic that I want to talk about.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Okay, carry on.
We're almost naturally segueing into it because we're talking about lifestyle choices and how that may lead. I mean, if you think about it, how early in the morning? I remember when I worked for FC Dallas. All right, when we had to go and I had to shoot those videos of like the first day back at training, right? And we go shoot those things. I had to be there like 5 a.m. My local time because the players arrived like 6 a.m. something like that, 6:30 the latest. And I could see it, man. The guy's tired. He's just woke up. He's sore. His neck's sore from holding that winner's medal, and he's been drinking whatever rosé out the whatever. What's the Scudetto? Is that what it's called? The trophy that they won? The
Yeah. That'll do.
Big up everyone in the chat, everyone that's here. Say hello. I'll say it back. Make sure you hit a like. There's 40 of y'all. We got 19 likes. I am going to be putting a poll in there in just a moment about the Tanguy and Ndombele thing, because if you didn't get a moment to see it, I highly recommend you see it. The players I'm sure if you're on Twitter, you've seen people quote tweeting it. A big thing about body language. Another thing I was actually thinking about. So while we're talking about body language, something I wanted to bring up with you, Sean, is optics. And I'm a guy, sometimes optics can be misleading or optics can give you insight. Where do you stand with it in regards to, so Sergio Reguilon, he posted a picture with his feet up on this Louis Vuitton bag heading to London. To me, the optics of my feet are up, I'm on my way to London looks bad when it's a player who's been questioned about his mentality, his focus, etc. The optics there, am I reading a lot into it? Is it too, or can optics give us some insight into maybe his mindset?
No, sorry, mate. Listen, I know you might be. There's a Richard Cracknell fella from Last Word on Spurs, Crackers. He put out.
Hey, shout out Crackers. Yeah, I love
shout
Crackers.
out Crackers. Listen, love the guy. No disrespect to him if he's watching, but
hey, if he's watching, holler at me, Crackers. Damn, I didn't know you watching the show like that.
I saw his tweet saying a similar thing, like reading between the lines here, maybe going too far. No, bro. Like, come on, man. The guy's in an airport. What's he supposed to do? Like, run up and down the reverse escalator, the reverse treadmill, whatever they. Like, come on. Like, he's waiting for a plane. It's madness. It's absolute madness. There's nothing
to me,
you can infer.
He looked like he was in a shuttle on the way to a plane.
What you can infer, buddy, is the fact that Tanguy and Ndombele gets out of his car that's chauffeur driven.
So the optics matter now.
If you dialed that video up to 1.5 speed, or possibly even 2 times speed, he would still look slow getting from his car to the front door. Like, Tanguy and Ndombele looked like I don't know what was going on. He looked like he'd pulled a hamstring within 10 seconds of getting out of the car. Like, Reguilon on the airport, nah, nothing to see there. But Tanguy getting out of the vehicle, something to see there, I think.
I want to play it, but out of fear of copyright, I'm not going to. I did play a tweet on my daily upload, Sean. It was
the tweet. If you've got it via Twitter, I think you
really. I was looking, and it doesn't. I just see James Madison stuff. The further I go down, the player arrival stuff, it looks like there's not. I saw it on Spurs play. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, it's on Twitter. I can share it via Twitter. All right, well, fuck it. We'll find out. I love you, YouTube. Thank you for letting me share things on Twitter. If you're watching this, here we go.
How are you streaming via your phone? What's going on there? Have you got like a
I'm not streaming on my phone. This is Twitter on desktop.
Oh, okay. So you're not playing. Okay. Oh, you know what? It looked like you were working with your phone there. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
Ignore me.
not.
Ignore me.
Let's find the part where Tongi and Don Bella. Oh, there he is. Hey, real quick though, the fit. What are we saying? It looks pretty nice. Huh? It looks soft and
No, it doesn't look pretty nice. It
no, I
looks.
bet it's comfortable. Like inside those sleeves, I bet it's very snug and nice. He looks very comfortable, and maybe that's why he's so lackadaisical. Maybe that's why this guy. Okay, so when I saw this guy,
Who's this guy?
apparently it's Alfie Whiteman. Upon further research, this is
that who
Alfie
it is?
Whiteman. Yeah, I saw him and I was like, who the hell was that? It
I
scared
don't know.
me for a moment.
Just like Pep Guardiola or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. If you can grow hair on your head, I don't know why you want to shave it bald. That's just my personal opinion. But
Either
let's
way,
see. I'll kill
racking
this
up,
sound.
racking up in trackies, racky trackies. I'm not sure.
You know, he looks comfortable. I'm not gonna knock a man looking comfortable going into work. I love relaxed work attire. Big up Mile High Hotspur. I'm gonna take that down real quick so we can see this. I turned the volume off, so we should be good. But here's Tongi. What are we saying here?
Yeah, you're dialing this up, right? You're dialing this up to 1.4 speed or something. Look at him. Look, he's reached for his hamstring there. He's reached for his hamstring.
He's already,
He's felt
yeah,
something.
he did
He's felt
reach for his
something.
hands.
He's going, oh no, there's a little tweak. I might be out for 6 weeks. Who's this guy coming in?
Let's run it back. That's Bentancur, Pedro Porro.
Bentancur is walking in quicker than Endon Bad.
That was funny, Sean. God damn.
It's ridiculous.
No, they were like they were having a little soiree in the parking lot, and then Javed Tanganga walks up also. But Regulon, he looked like he just woke up also.
That's what this is. I bring it back to the point, right? What is more of a if you're looking to infer something, someone who drives their own vehicle to the training ground and
This
gets
guy-
out and does a little skippity hoo. Like to me, that seems like they're awake. They're ready to go. Endon Bele, first day back.
He's asleep in the back of
and
this
you
Range
are-
Rover.
He was asleep. He was asleep 30 seconds before this clip started. This guy, look, he's got his hood up. He's got his hood up, his sunglasses on. This man was asleep 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely asleep. And then if you look at it, so he is very slowly approaching. He does kind of limp right here. He does. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there's the hammy. Oh
There's
no!
the hammy.
I got a feeling, Doctor Tottenham. I need to have a little.
He's like,
massage.
yeah, maybe I'm a little tight. I can't train today. Maybe that's what he was getting ready for. It's like, oh, the cameras are on. I need to look. In the video, you could see my hammy was tight. I don't know.
This guy, man, £60 million.
What are we saying about the purse? I think it's pretty fresh. How much do you think that purse cost?
It costs, I don't. I've got no idea, but I don't respect it. I don't. Do you respect it?
The purse?
The purse. Do you respect the actual purse?
I mean, honestly, ergonomically, I've thought about it. I would love it if it was socially acceptable for men to have purses. I tried a satchel at one point, but
it's not socially acceptable for you or me to have purses. It's socially acceptable
for rich
have
people.
people that walk out of a sofa-driven Range Rover and have purses. I think that this man, it probably is socially acceptable for him to do it. But there's a comment in the thing from in the chat saying from Jason Helm saying, "I'm afraid Ange and Tangy are going to be oil and water. He'll be gone in 2 weeks." I could not agree with that man more. Tanguy and Nobele will be given the once over. What day are we today? Saturday. By Wednesday, you'll be hearing reports of Tanguy and Nobele to Galatasaray.
That's another thing that I was thinking. How long until we see this manager say, "Okay, this is"? I can't wait for it to see. Speaking of, shout out Winks. Goodbye. I did obligatorily want to say something to him, which is goodbye. I'm not going to trash on him. I trash on him while he's a Tottenham player and he frustrates me. He's no longer that. So I can look back on his tenure and say, thanks for your service and goodbye. It's been time to upgrade, and I'm glad that we finally are. Now let the Don know.
It's a really good deal, though. You have listen. I don't know. What's your stance on Daniel Levy generally on this channel? Is this channel a Levy out channel, or is this a balanced channel about Daniel Levy? How do you guys generally?
I would argue that I feel pretty balanced. Like I gave credit for this deal. I said, whoever it is, if it's Levy, this is a very good job. Whoever it was that got us James Madison, my whole gripe was over 50 for James Madison in the final year of his contract. I don't know, but we got it under 50. That checks one box. I also want players gone. That checks another box. I know they're just separate deals, but you can't tell me in the same room they weren't like separately. Now let's talk about Mr. Winks. Maybe we could get him. You know, they were definitely having these conversations at the same time. And so for me, whoever it was that orchestrated that,
Daniel
they get
Levy,
my
right?
credit.
Daniel
If it's
Levy,
Daniel
right?
Levy, then,
It was
you
Daniel
know, you have to give credit if you're going to give slack and give, give shit to someone if they're not doing a job. That's why off the top of the show, I even said, I'm going to give credit to whoever made the decision that we actually got Niall, John, and Matthew Craig signed up for our academy still because there's that disgruntlement. But I did put a poll in the chat real quick about Ndombele's body language. Make sure you participate in that. Make sure you're hitting the like for your boy Sean and for myself. Great conversation. So far, 50% says he doesn't care, and neither do I. 44% says he's bad. Get him, or it's bad body language. Get him gone. And it appears as though maybe one person said he's sleepy. Two people have now voted he is sleepy. Be nice. So that's nice. That's a nice choice.
Well, they're the three options.
Yeah, those are the three options. And two people have voted he's sleepy, be nice. So
Be nice, yeah.
Let's look at it real quick. I did want to make one last thing about his body language here. He does acknowledge the camera, which I'm going to show someone who...
He's almost the wink and the gum. You can't see the wink
Boom.
because it's behind... Yeah, but you can't see the wink because it's behind the sunglasses, and you can't quite see the gun because he's got his phone in his hand. But I think he's attempting the wink and the gun. And anyone that attempts the wink and the gun, I think you have to give a little bit of credit for.
Yeah, there's a little something. He at least acknowledged the camera. Let me fast forward and show you someone who did not.
Keep going. Work it.
Okay, real quick. Look how sleepy. This man literally just rolled out of bed. You can't tell me this dude is he
hasn't even ironed that t-shirt, you know.
But this is who I want y'all to watch. Our captain, our leader, our man among men. He's supposed to be this guy.
He doesn't care, mate. He's like he's resigned from his job. Have you ever been in a job where you resigned and you've got like 2 weeks notice to give, and you're in the final 3 days and you just start to like really slack off? That's where Hugo's at.
He looks like a disgruntled father going to watch a bunch of kids play the game very poorly, and he's like, I'd rather be in my man cave.
I'd rather be anywhere else right now.
He doesn't acknowledge the camera. He doesn't look happy to be there. This if we're talking body language, which is kind of where we're at right now, look at this man is our fucking captain.
No, this guy is the guy who walked off at halftime in the most embarrassing defeat that Tottenham have faced.
Walking up in here like this.
Yeah, he's embarrassed to be there because it's the first time that anyone's seen him on camera since the Newcastle defeat.
And
he can't even look the camera in the eye because he knows what he did.
I bring up also, Sean,
talking about this guy as some legend. Let's start talking about this guy as
as a man of how he's treated Tottenham. It's the same reasons I grieve for that I give grief to Harry Winks. When he takes the piss out of the club, liking a tweet talking about never doubt Pep Guardiola after he just came back when we were up 2-0 at half and they won 4-2. Never doubt Pep Guardiola. He liked that tweet. He also liked, I think I even still have it saved here. Let me see. He liked another thing. Was it this? Yeah. So there's an Instagram post.
Hold up. Sorry. One second, Jacob.
Yeah.
Please bring up Scott M's comment.
Where? What time? Honestly, I just want to say real quick, the chat is flying. Sorry if I've missed y'all's comments. I'm just having a great conversation. Y'all are really killing it. A lot of people here today, so big up. What time did you want?
9:07. Scott M. I like this man. I love this guy. I think he's a sweetheart of a man. Whenever I've met him, he's always very lovely. But my God, Scott, you gotta face up to there's a change in the tide of the atmosphere around Tottenham fans, man. We're all getting behind this system, and you seem to be clinging on to some negativity here. Hugo knows he's better than us and lucky enough to get out of this tire fire soon. Come on, my man.
If I could say one thing about Scott M is he's
I
always
love
on
Scott.
brand.
But
He's on
Jesus, he
brand.
plays the part of the doom and gloom merchant very well. Like he sticks to his like he doesn't break character. I get it. But Scott, I love you, man. But come on, bro. There's enough reason to be a little bit more optimistic than putting that sort of message out. Hugo Lloris is not better than us. Come on, buddy.
Scott M says just because fans are stupidly deluded doesn't mean I have to join the delusion. Paul, look into my
Look,
eyes.
he
Join
plays the
me.
character. He plays the
Join
character
me,
well.
Paul. Paul, join me, Scott. Join me, Scott. It's okay to get. I think what it is Scott's had his heart broken too many times by Spurs to where now he is, sometimes a little. What he says
Yeah,
can
man,
come off rough around the
some
edges.
people like
And
to play a character. I think Scott is playing the character. I love you, Scott. You're a lovely guy, but you're playing the character where nothing's good enough, everything's bad, and even the worst of Tottenham is better than Tottenham. It's whatever. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
big up Derek Smith, new name here in the chat. I believe that's Dell from the
Go boy.
group chat. Yeah, big up.
Yeah.
I believe that. So I personally like during the season, Sean. I don't know if you were aware, but I came for his throat. I came for Hugo Lloris. And I've defended him. I defended him last summer. I defended him during the beginning of the season, and I always said that there was still more that he could offer us. Still, that he wasn't completely washed, and it started to slowly deteriorate.
It's a mentality thing, Jacob. Mate, goalkeepers are all about confidence. Like he's got the skill set. He's never going to drop that. 37 years old. He's never going to have forgotten how to be a goalkeeper. He's someone who's fit. He's sharp. Like he's bad at the things he's bad at. He's good at the things he's good at. What determines the difference when you're 37 is confidence. And his confidence just deserted him. A tough season with a tough defense in front of him. He was on the receiving end of conceding 67 goals. His mind went against Newcastle. He conceded 5 goals in 15 minutes. He went in at halftime. Someone in the squad went after him and said, "Man, can I swear? I don't know if I won't swear, but like
You can swear. I don't give a shit.
like man up, bro." And he didn't like being criticized. They had an argument. He probably reacted badly. They decided to say you're injured, and we haven't seen him since.
Here's my theory, Sean, if you'll indulge me for a second, and then I'm gonna address this comment from Leighton Evelyn, saying that's borderline racism, judging a man's by his body language. I'm doing it to Hugo Lloris, and he's white. So if you want to say it's racism, by all means, have a day.
Leighton Evelyn is another one. Leighton, come on, bro. What are you
Never, hey, big up. Thanks for being here.
Another one that comes out with some absolute whoppers. Absolute whoppers, Leighton. Come on, bro. You're
Well,
better than that.
I appreciate being
racism.
here. Yeah.
What are you chatting?
I think it's funny because when they said that, I was literally, we were literally talking about Hugo Lloris, and I have him up, and we were talking about his body language in this moment. So it's kind of funny. But if the poll was a bit biased, I apologize. I thought that He Sleepy Be Nice was a good representation for those of us who do feel as though Tanguy may be able to give us something next season. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe he can. Maybe he can. I know he walked off when we played those shrimps and we were down a goal, the Morecambe shrimps or whatever they're called, and he walked. But you know what? A lot of people I saw after that, last season especially, do just as disgraceful things on the pitch, acting like a football player. To me, I believe in second chances. I believe if he wants to, but Ange is going to know this, right? Ange is going to suss this out. Tanguy and Dombele. I kind of pivoted back to Tanguy. Okay. That maybe of the argument that maybe he can contribute to something this season. I'm not writing him off, but I'm also not upset if we get him gone because I feel like what I saw from him in Napoli was a lot of that I saw with us, like moments of brilliance and moments of laziness. And, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I don't know if Ange would like that kind of mentality, that work rate. I think he looks for something a little bit different.
Ange is different to us, right? This guy's a born winner. He's going to have like conversations with everyone. He's going to look at the players between the eyes, look in the whites of the eyes, and figure out whether or not these people are going to fight for the team, fight for me, fight for the system. And like he might come to his own conclusion about Tanguy. I'll tell you how I feel about it. if I find out that Tanguy stays at the club, and if I find out that Tanguy's on the bench for the first game of the season, then I'm going to be excited. I will literally be excited because I will come to the conclusion that I remember that this guy has got all of the talent in the world, but from what I've seen, none of the mentality. But I'm not a winner in life like Ange Postecoglou is. I haven't got the skill set or the stones to be able to figure out by looking someone in the eye and having a conversation whether someone's going to fight for the cause or not. But Ange does. So
I think even being a good judge of character
Tanguy
too.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I mean, right? So if it turns out that Tanguy Ndombele is on the bench for the first game of the season, then the only assumption that I can make is that Ange has had that conversation and decided that actually Tanguy is the guy for him. And if that's the case, then I'm fully behind it. I don't expect that to be the case, but if it is the case, then I'll get behind it. And when Tanguy comes on, I'm looking forward to seeing some moments of magic from the guy because he's got everything in his locker. He just has it from what I've seen.
But
None of the psychology.
To play the devil's advocate here, I was a huge fan of him, but I lost a lot of respect after that Morecambe thing that he did. But I've always been of the mindset like he was bought coming in thinking to play Pacha's style system, and then we brought Jose, and then we brought Nuno, and then we bring Conte, and then with Conte he was actually like, you know what, I'll turn up for this guy, and Conte said, nah, you'll turn up in Italy, and he went and won a trophy. So maybe now he's had some success. He's been around some winners.
This is the thing, mate. This is that whole. I'm sorry. I know that it's an unpopular take. I get rinsed for it everywhere I go, every time I say it. But I'm confident in my own opinion, so I don't care. I'm going to say it again. It's stories like that that tell me that trophies should not equal or be a relevant part of the story of a good or a bad player. It's stories like Tanguy Ndombele playing 8 minutes on average per 90 of Napoli season, and him being a Scudetto winner. It's stories like Harry Kane going to the Bundesliga where he's going to play with better players against worse players and just to get his trophy, because without that, it's like he's never going to be one of the GOATs, but with it, he will. But the only way he becomes a GOAT is by improving the quality of the players around him. It's all these stories that tell me that this idea that you're never going to be considered a good player or a great player unless you've got a trophy, but the only way you get a trophy is by playing for one of the best teams and playing against terrible teams beneath you. It's a nonsense narrative that logic does not hold up. The logic doesn't hold up unless you are someone who just listens to the media, and the media tell you that the best players have to play for the best teams. And if you want to be thought of as a great player, then you have to have played for the best teams because it's only the best teams that win trophies. It's such a stupid argument. It's such a stupid argument that could be broken down in so many ways if you're someone who looks at fallacies. But because the media tell people you can't be great unless you've won a trophy, Ndombele does not become a great player because he won the Scudetto at Napoli.
I think it's the great counterpoint to that I've always heard when this debate is brought up, right, is, what's Alan Shearer remembered for? Well, I think he's remembered for both of his great accomplishments, right? The records that he breaks and what he achieves. It's not. It's not black and white.
He's remembered for the by the vast majority of people that watch football today. He's remembered.
But I would say whoever's the diehard Blackburn, and Blackburn's been in their blood since whenever the fuck, I would say those people, to them, they remember him for accomplishing that with their club, even where they're at still today. I bet it's something they talk. This is obviously an assumption on my end, but I would put some money on the fact that I think the people in Blackburn who feel the way I feel about Tottenham, that they appreciate him more.
I would guarantee you, Jacob, that had he not won the Premier League with Blackburn, and he's carried on doing what he did at Newcastle, if he'd lost the Premier League at Blackburn that season to Manchester United or whoever it was, Newcastle, if he went to then Newcastle and then carried on hitting the ground, he would still be known for what he's known for today. Chris Sutton also was a superstar who played alongside Alan Shearer, and no one talks about Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton works on like Channel 5 live radio these days. No one remembers him, but he was just as influential in winning the Premier League for Blackburn as Alan Shearer was. Alan Shearer is remembered for his consistency in the Premier League, not for a one-season wonder like Chris Sutton was. I think the whole thing, I think the whole debate about you're never going to be good enough unless you win a trophy is bullshit, because there are so many players who have won trophies who are bang average players, but there is nobody who has created goal-scoring records or records that relate to their own individual areas of the pitch, who haven't won a trophy, that are not remembered. Trophies should not be the be-all and end-all, but they are, because the media present the narrative that way. It's nonsense.
I am of the mindset, and specifically regarding Kane, that winning a trophy, if he goes to Bundesliga and wins a trophy, that does nothing for me as far as like how I'm going to remember him. So I guess it does kind of come down. I do agree that the media and a lot of other channels, even on YouTube, like Big Six channels, they talk about the fact that, well, Kane's always going to be a loser because he hasn't won a trophy, even if he has the goal scoring record.
Why is that? Why is that? Because everyone that watches those channels support teams that are won
Arsenal,
trophies.
yeah, they support Arsenal. They support, yeah. That, I mean, even Chelsea fans, they all say, like, you know, we see things you'll never
The
see.
best players have to play for the best teams, mate. So them the rules. Them the rules.
Hey, Gunnar Galore's here. Said, Sean, stop lying. Kane is a loser. I was waiting for something like that.
I love that guy. I think he's a member of my channel.
Big ups. Yeah, big up, everyone. Yeah, got over 50 of y'all in the house. Please do hit that like if you do not mind. Hit that like for the channel. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see. We were sitting on a pretty 1,398. So if there's two of y'all that have not subscribed, y'all could get us over the 1,400 mark. We could hit 1,400 right now if two people who have not subscribed subscribe right now. And there's about 59 of y'all. So big ups, every single one of you. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. But also I want to say shout out to the members of the channel who do pay. Shout out to the Patreon members as well. There's the last thing I want to say about this body language here. This is Hugo Lloris, our captain, and this bothers me, by the way. If you remember, the season wasn't even a week dry, and he was already like, you know, I really like Nice. Maybe I can go to Nice. I really like what they're doing over there. I really like what I can see. So to me, I agree. He's checked out. He's not there. But at the same time, like, if this is the mentality, right? This kind of, look at Jed Spence. He ain't even been here all season, and he actually like interacts. He's nice. He talks to him. There's another video I saw where Jed Spence like actually talked to the guy behind the camera. So like that kind of stuff to me, I don't know. I think it speaks volumes. I think optics, I guess that's kind of the theme of today is optics. Like, where do you lie with it, right? Sergio Reguilon putting his feet up on some Louis Vuitton at the airport. To me, I look at it from an optics standpoint. That doesn't look the best. But maybe that's just an example of reading too far into it.
Yeah, I think that one's insane, to be honest, mate.
Well, it is a little, if you're like me and when you watch a movie, if you believe every shot, that everything in the frame that you can see is there for a reason to tell you something, that's how I... What's that?
He took a picture of himself waiting for a plane.
Yeah, I mean, he is like a 20-something-year-old on social media, so like reading into it like it's a Martin Scorsese or a fucking Stanley Kubrick.
Do we have any footage of him getting out of his car?
No, the footage started... it started, I believe, with him like hugging Bentancur and talking to Pedro Porro. That's where the footage started, and then there's footage of him walking. Let me see if we can get him walking. Let's see if we can pull that up. Here we go. Here we go. It's loading. I guess, you know, I made the Twitter world mad. All right, let's see. Mute that. I want to say the person who had my favorite energy, by the way, before anyone else says I'm racist, Yves Bissouma. He was at the very end. They saved the best clip for last. His energy that he brought was something fun. But this is the first you see of Reguilon. He's dapping up Mr. Bentancur, which I saw Rodrigo. He was on the exercise bike, and I was looking at his other thigh, and I'm curious. I want to see his other thigh. I want to see that muscle mass, because we all saw the photo when he was first started stretching and was out of the brace. I want to see what that thigh looks like. Where are we at muscle mass wise? Because that may get me excited. You know what I mean? Because that's part of the reason why I've been a little, I guess, apathetic when it comes to our midfield. I feel as though like without we're assuming that Bentancur is going to come back and be the man that he was and even take it up a level, right? That's what we want. I'm worried
Massive if
about
though, massive
it.
if, which is why I'm pushing for more sixes and more eights. Like I was shameless tonight. I put out a video that came from the Sun newspaper about Tottenham breaking the record for Polina. Listen, whether it's true or not, there's a logic to the argument that Tottenham should go after him. Højbjerg doesn't fit the system at all. Højbjerg could fit the Fulham system like a plum. Let's go and like if Polina is valued at 90, in reality that's nonsense. Let's get down to 65, which is reality. Let's then offer him Højbjerg. Maybe we could also take Tosin Adarabioyo for like maybe 70 million in total. But then if you throw Tanganga and or Sessegnon and or Højbjerg in that way, then Tottenham could get two of the most important bits of business done and also offload two or three of the players that we don't need towards Fulham, because, you know, to your point, Bentancur, we don't know what sort of version of him is going to come back, right? And so at the moment, everyone's talking about this midfield three dream world of Bissouma in the 6, Bentancur in the 8, Maddison in the 10. But in reality, that doesn't exist.
That sounds great. It
sounds great.
It sounds
right?
sexy, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't exist until probably January at best. And then you don't know what Bentancur you're getting back. And also, Bissouma's also on the recovery from surgery. So there's all sorts of variables with injury.
Sonny had a hernia surgery as well.
Okay, so maybe we need another midfielder, you know, and maybe Polina is the guy. And then if you get Polina in, you put him in the 6, you can move Bissouma up to the 8 and Maddison, and then you've got an even better midfield 3. Just saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did want to talk about what we are talking about, potential necessities. The left back position has been brought up a few times on a bunch of different channels. We got Destiny Udoji on my video yesterday. If you didn't see it, I've been uploading a daily upload. Go check it out. Go hit a like if you can. That'd be great. But doing obviously we're not going to do one today because of this, but I'm trying to bring content to the channel every day, so hit a like over there if you can. But I did talk about Destiny Udoji, and I think that if we could get him and Ange cooking together, that could be quite the dish. I said paella, which is a Spanish dish, and I apologize about that. I should have said something more like moussaka, or maybe they could make a nice I don't know, what's an Italian dish other than spaghetti and pizza. I don't want to sound like an American because those are the first two that come on.
Gnocchi.
There we go. Make something nice. Because Destiny Udoji as a player profile, I don't buy. I did agree to a degree when I watched Udinese this season that at moments he was suspect defensively, but he hasn't scared me defensively as much as, say, Pedro Porro did defensively. So if we're able to talk about maybe if Pedro Porro is going to be able to play that attacking fullback for us, I think Udogi could be able to do just fine from a profile standpoint. I mean, he averaged over 2 tackles a match, which a lot of left backs don't. And that's a defensive stat. He wins the ball more than twice a match per season as far as the Serie A goes last season. So I think there's a player there. I think there's quite an athlete. But what worries me about Udogi is it sounded kind of to me like his agent was putting some feelers out there. Like his agent kind of tossed to the club, maybe he should get loaned to somewhere in Italy again. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then our technical people said, no, he's a part of our plans. He's going to Thailand. Tell him to pack his bags and get ready. So
I agree.
That worries me.
I agree on the entire story that you just presented. But I didn't think Tottenham were going to Thailand. I thought we were going to Australia. I didn't know about the Thailand thing. I felt, but I completely.
It's like a Southeast Asia thing.
Yeah, that was news to me. I didn't know we were going over there. But I completely agree with your interpretation. I was like, why are we reading this story? Why is the agent like looking for clarity on the desirability of Udoji? Why is he talking about Milan being interested? Is there something to it that suggests that maybe Destiny Udoji either doesn't want to come, or maybe he's not even entirely convinced himself that he can play in the back four? I don't know. It left more questions than answers, but I read it the same way as you did, Jacob.
Yeah, because it's like, is that his agent just doing the agent thing, marketing his player, right? He could, the bigger profile his player gets, the bigger his paycheck becomes. So why wouldn't he want to shop him? But the wording of it too was a little strange because it said before he takes the step up to Spurs, maybe he should go to Juve, Milan, or Inter, which is the top three clubs in Italy. So it's like he would still be taking a huge step up going to one of those clubs, surely. So like it almost sounded like that to me when I read, I like to read into things, I like to get my tinfoil hat. I need to make one, have a little prop for the show because I have theories.
You
I
make
didn't
one
share
that
too much
also
about you.
that it's tinfoil around here, but actually up here it turns into a cockerel.
Ooh, that would be sick. That would be
Yeah.
sick. And have like a tinfoil hat section where I just present all my conspiracy theories. Like my Hugo, on a side tangent real quick, Sean, my Hugo Lloris conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat theory, whatever you want to call it, was he was getting his ass whooped. The players were like, Hugo, you suck, your ass. The mood in the locker room was really bad. And I have a theory that Hugo, Dyer, Davies, Winks is still in it, even though he was loaned to Sampdoria at the time. A group chat. I think they have a group chat. I call him Group Chat FC, and they have it with Daniel Levy. And he's sitting there at halftime. He's like, Daniel, come help me. What do I do? They're all being mean to me. They said, tell him your back hurts and you can't play. And then why else to add a caveat on there? This isn't just me being crazy. I like to have evidence to support my theories here. Wow. When a goalkeeper is informed, his training staff, as soon as he gets in, if he's actually hurt, he says, you know what, my back's a little tweaked, y'all. At that moment, whether he's going to play or not, Forster gets warmed up. I worked for a MLS club, and I would assume it's not too far off because I've witnessed this very thing happen where as soon as they hit inside that locker room and he tells the physio, you know what, I have a little tightness here, hey, get Forster ready, warm up the backup. And he starts warming up. Forster, if you go back and you look, he didn't start warming up till about 4 minutes before kickoff of the second half. And that's unheard of. You would have 15 minutes to warm up if they do it right. So my theory is Hugo quit on us. He's a quitter. Obviously, I don't.
It's not a theory. It's an unconfirmed fact.
Shout out Alan Clark with Time Added On. I presented this theory on his show, and he said that everything that I was saying was basically speculatory. That, I mean, it is a lot of it, but it's evidence to support an argument.
I agree with you. I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing. Yeah. I think that Hugo Lloris was absolutely. There was something that happened, and it wasn't an injury. And had it had been an injury, we would have seen, to your point, Fraser Foster warming up and things happening before. Fraser Foster walked out 3 minutes late. So I don't think on that particular one you're a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not going to put you off making the cockerel tinfoil hat.
I need to work. Fantastic. Yeah. I need to look up and see if hey, anyone out there, y'all good with tinfoil? That I know y'all call it.
Tinfoil is incredibly malleable. It's like paper mache. You can basically just repurpose it in any direction you want. If you've got enough of it, we can create some magic together.
All right, someone mail me a roll of tinfoil, and I'll try and make it.
You don't have tinfoil.
My wife doesn't get tinfoil. She gets like baking sheets and parchment paper.
You're limited by the size.
Yeah, those are not very malleable at all.
It's a nightmare.
Let's see. Aaron J says Lloris bottled it. Ben Edwards says Hugo threw his toys out the pram and is still looking for them now. All right. That was just a little side tangent. I did want to actually talk about the left back position. I don't see Perisic playing a left back and a back four. I don't see. I don't want to write off Mr. Reguilon so quickly, but I don't have a lot of confidence in him because I've seen him, and he's a lot like a chicken with no head. A lot of emotion, a lot of movement, looks busy. So he's got a good pace on him. Beautiful girlfriend. I mean, we could go on, but I just don't. I've seen him with an open net in front of him and him sky it over the bar. And it's things like that that make me worry about him. But again, I like to judge players after I've seen a healthy dose. I've only seen a few doses. And again, this goes back to my other point about Tanguy, Sean, that I really think that that he would definitely, that Ange would suss this type of thing out. Reguilon, and Dombele, et cetera, et cetera. So the last point I just wanted to give from you, do you think Reguilon, as much as you've seen from him thus far, could he be a person to fulfill that? Or do you suspect that Ange would suss that out, and that's another position we need to look at after center back?
Yeah, mate, I'm really worried. I'm genuinely concerned about the width. I think everyone seems to be worried about certain, the obvious options, right? Get two centre backs in. I prioritize a six. Some people don't. Other people think wing forwards are important. I think they are as well. I think there's so much work to be done, and people, I think, are a little bit sleeping on the security of our fullbacks. I think that we're moving to a new system, and the biggest concern when you move from a back three to a back four is the viability of the fullbacks / wingbacks. And I think that Tottenham spent a lot of money and have probably two of our best potential players in our squad that are fantastic fits for an old system that we don't have right now. I think there's massive question marks over Pedro Porro. I think there's massive question marks over Destiny Udogie. I don't know. I think Destiny Udogie is probably more capable of fitting in. But Pedro Porro, I don't know about. And if that means that Emerson Royale is our first choice right back, there's still massive question marks over him. I think that Tottenham fans, Tottenham channels, we're all talking about centre backs. We're talking about strikers to replace Harry Kane if he goes in. We're talking about support for Becky or for Sonny. And I don't think anyone's talking about the left back and the right back from a defensive point of view. And I think it's going to be incredibly vulnerable. I think if I was a manager of any other Premier League team right now, looking at the squad that Tottenham are trying to build, looking at the probable squad that Tottenham will have at the moment, if I was an opposition manager, I'd be saying you attack down the flanks of Tottenham, because I don't think we have anywhere near enough defensive strength down our width. And I think it's a massive problem. So do I think Reguilon's a good fit? I don't know. Do I think Sessegnon can do it? No. Do I think Davies is good enough? I think he's an option, but I don't want it to be our first choice. Do I think Udogie can do it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. And then you pivot to the right and you say, Emerson. I think Emerson's good enough defensively, but can he do what's required of a right back in that particular system in a high line? The specificities, mate, of a high line back four are different to a balanced squad. Right, like the requirements of someone who plays right back in someone who spends the vast majority of the time when we have the ball on the halfway line, and when we don't, they're getting back as quick as they can. I don't know if Emerson can do that. I think he probably can, but I don't think it's great. And Pedro Porro, I don't know. I genuinely feel like the Tottenham community are not talking about this problem that we have in our fullback situation enough. I'm trying to bring it up, but everyone's like, no, we got to focus on centre backs and we got to focus on who's going to back up Sonny and who's going to back in. I think we need to talk about these fullback wing back.
I do agree. I do agree to a degree that you could argue. I can understand the argument for both sides being a whole right now. Sean, I know you got to go, so I'm not going to take too much more of your time. But I could go on another tangent. No, I think I might talk a little bit. The chat's popping. I'll probably talk to the chat a little bit and then I'll sign off. But I'll let you go. So you're no longer a prisoner of United Spurs of America today, Sean. You have been released. But here's your channel. I know you got everything. You got a video every day, but you got any lives coming up? Anything you want to tell people while you're here?
Not really, mate. Yeah, same thing. I might do one tomorrow. My live streams are always impromptu. There's no planning with them. Whenever I've got time, I'll do one. So, yeah, just keep a lookout. But mate, I love you, my man, and I want everybody who hasn't subscribed, let's subscribe to your channel, because your channel is fantastic. I want to do everything I can to get more of my subscribers over to yours, because I love you, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Great
appreciate
channel.
That. Hey, we did hit 1,400 or 14. Yeah, 1,400. 1,402 subscribers. So we're officially on the march to 1,500. Big up to the 4 of you that subbed per the request. Thank you, Sean. Always sharing the love. You're always a good ear to listen, and I respect your opinions highly, even if I disagree with some of the things you may say.
Before I go, wind me up. Let me go. Allow me to leave with a thorn in my side. Which one of my opinions do you disagree with the most?
Whew, it's hard to say because whenever I think about the first opinion of that comes to my mind that I disagree with you about is the Heung-min Son. Last season, a lot of the stuff that he got, but I think the hernia and you've talked about him in length that I think competition at all positions is necessary. So I guess I can't really think of one specific point that I like super strongly disagree with. Because where do you stand with Romero? Let me ask you that. Where are you at with Romero? I know this could lead to fucking 30 more minutes, but Romero, are
But
you
do
of
I
the
stand on
mindset?
him as a player? I think he's a very good player in waiting. I don't think he gives a shit about Tottenham, and I think that he, I think that he is a little bit hard done by because of his rashness. I think that it comes with the territory of being a ball playing centre back. I think a lot of people don't realize that if you are someone who is a centre back who is tasked with the responsibility of breaking the line, then you are a risk-taking centre-back. Rather than passing it sideways or back to the goalkeeper, your first thought is to break the line. I think that is something that Tottenham need under this system. I think it's something that Romero will benefit from this year. I think that Romero will be a really, really improved player this season under Tottenham. However, I do think that he doesn't care about Tottenham 0.1% as much as he cares about Argentina. I think there's a lot of question marks around his availability when it comes to.
That's what it was. You were hard on him where everyone as well whenever he's available for Argentina, but then he's hurt for us type argument. I
That's my
disagree
problem
with
with him.
that one. I have a few reasons why I disagree with that one, but you're also approaching things very rationally, so it's making it more difficult to disagree with you. But let me ask you, Harry Kane's not here next season. Who's your captain? Who's our captain?
At the moment, with the squad without Harry Kane,
Bring in whoever you want. Harry Kane's gone. Who's our
if,
captain next season?
assuming that Harry Kane is gone, who is my captain?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Hugo Lloris obviously is gonna fuck off to Nice or whatever.
Assuming that Højbjerg is gone, I would give it to Bentancur as a club captain. As a
What are we doing for the first 6 months of
for the
season?
first 6 months, I would give it to Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro. Does he speak English?
Doesn't matter, mate. The guy's a fucking prison officer. He's a prison ward. He's a
Shout out Jack Kanicki.
he leads by example. By the way, Scott M, come on, Jacob. It has to be the Levy apologist stuff, mate. Grow up, bro. Grow up. I bet you, Scott M cannot even come here. Because Scott M, let me ask you one question, bro. Let me put a question before I jump out of here. Scott M, can you give Daniel Levy any credit at all for the start to the transfer window and the negotiations where he's managed to find a 25% discount on a pre-arranged agreement on Decky? Can you find any negotiation, any willingness to give any credit at all to a guy who's managed to get one of the highest touted goalkeepers for 15, 16 million quid? Can you give him any credibility at all or any credit at all for managing to get James Maddison for a net £30 million and at the same time ship off Harry Winks to Leicester? Meanwhile, Man United have got to pay 70 million for Mason Mount, and Arsenal have had to pay 105 million pound for Declan Rice. I guarantee you can't. Because you are tunnel visioned, a unipolar blame game merchant who has absolutely no ability to participate in balanced views. I'll leave it there, man. There's no Levy apologist here. There is just a Levy doom gloom narcissist in your mindset, mate. You're very negative. It's pathetic. I love you, Scott. I do, mate. But you got to chill out with the Levy stuff. It's boring. I got to go, though, Jacob, mate. I love you to pieces, buddy.
Hey, big ups, man. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate everyone joining who came over. I'll go for a little bit longer. I'll read some of the chat. I still want to know, well, who has the captain's material here at Tottenham? But Sean, thank you for joining. I did disagree with you like a year ago, maybe when you were a little bit more apologetic of Levy. I disagree with some of that, but I'm thinking about recent. I mean, as soon as the season
No,
ended,
hang on.
as
So,
soon as the season ended, you were very clear about how
last
you
thing I'm gonna
felt.
say, mate,
And
like, I've never been apologetic on Daniel Levy. All I've ever done, ever since I've come into this community 16 months ago, all I've ever done is listen to one-sided nonsense from people who have no ability to see the wood for the trees. I've never defended Daniel Levy. I have defended logic against people who come onto streams and who participate in a blame game that is one-sided. And I don't defend Daniel Levy. I say, if what you're saying is true, then how about this? All I ever do is not defend Daniel Levy, it's defend the basic logical arguments when people say that Daniel Levy is a parasite or a cancer, and they never remember all of the good. They only ever remember all of the bad. That's all I've ever done.
Yeah.
I've never been someone who likes Daniel Levy. I've always said I am very, very happy and willing for Daniel Levy to leave the club and sell the club to someone who's better. But whilst we're at it, if we're analysing Daniel Levy and all these other people come on and give 99% criticism, I'm the guy who says, here's the balance, here's the other side of the argument. People like Scott M and other people will never appreciate that because they are doom and gloom merchants. And I'm good luck to them. Do what they got to do. I don't care. But I love you guys, mate. I gotta go. Jacob,
big up,
mate.
Sean. Yeah, thank you for joining so much. Go hit the link. He's in the title, Spurs Talk Show. There he goes, the one and only Sean. I'll go for a little bit longer, y'all. We still got 50 people in the house. Big ups to y'all. Hit up them likes. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes, 50 viewers, 50 likes. How many votes in the poll? We got 50 votes in the poll, so 50, 50, 50 would be very nice. I'm going to end the poll, but it is a tie at the moment between Ndombele's body language being bad, get him gone, and it's a tie between that and he doesn't care, neither do I. So that's interesting that's going to be a tie. 16% said he's sleepy, be nice. That's kind of how I felt. I did want to do another quick poll before I ended the show. Y'all know me. Y'all know I like to ask y'all questions. I'll never do a poll that says, have you liked this stream? I think that's very boring. So I'm going to ask the question, who has the captain's material? And I'm going to present 4 options. I'm going to say, and this is, again, the same question I posed to Sean. So assuming that Harry Kane is no longer with Tottenham, Hugo Lloris is gone, bring the 4th option will be to bring someone in and to comment that. So the first option, I'm going to throw out my candidate for captain to answer my own question a little bit. My candidate for captaincy will be Heung-min Son, Heung-min Daddy, Heung-min Hung, the one and only. So he's going to go with, I'm going to put him in the first option. The second option, I'll go with Sean's answer. He said Pedro Porro. I'm going to add who I think also should be mentioned within this as far as someone who could be the captain should there be no Harry Kane. I'm going to say Christian Romero. I know y'all don't like that. Some people don't like that, but that's okay. I think Christian Romero's got, you give him the captain's armband, you may see a different characteristics out of the guy. You may see him act a little different. And then the 4th option I'm going to present is whoever we bring in, that's good. And then / comment. Oh, can't say that much. So if you choose the 4th option, please do comment who you're bringing in and what, and that way we'll know who we can actually get as a captain. Let me see. There are some answers in the chat already. Big up Patty Hartnett on the road to 10K. Yeah, slowly but surely. 1,400 now. We've crossed that off. Big up, great. Big up Josh Smith. Big up everyone in the chat. Appreciate y'all showing up. Hope you're having a great weekend. Mojo says Romero. I like that one. Gregor doesn't like Harvey Barnes. Agree with Sean on Romero. Has to be Dyer. I hope that's not. Maybe that's a little old. What that was? Yeah, that's 7 minutes ago, so it might be a little old. Dan Davenport. I give captain the son. Darius Vasilionkaitis says a son captain since he refused the Saudi offer straight away. Let's see. Jason Helms, in defense of Romero, says Romero hasn't had a manager that stoked his care for Spurs. Played for Conte, who couldn't care less. Ange will get the lads playing with passion for the shirt. All in step with the same drumbeat. I like that. It gives you hope, right? That's what I'm hoping for anyway. There's nothing wrong with hoping either. Big up, everyone. Big up, Scott M., channel member. I love opposing views. It always gives a good balance to any debate. So, Scott M., he didn't get Madison. Madison's wife forcing the move to London and Arsenal, and Chelsea didn't want him. That's interesting. I don't know if I agree with that. That is a little tinfoil, Scott. I'm gonna have to hand you over the tinfoil cockerel hat that I make. He made Spurs relevant. I think that's in regards to Levy. Uh, that's just about Scott. Three for all says I was fishing. Maybe I was fishing. The blame's always placed. Let's see. Where are we at with captains? As he says, Son. I like that. Son's committed to Spurs. That's right. Jason Helms, moot point. Kane not going anywhere. That's fair enough. You could be right, but again, it's always good to prepare in the sense that something unexpected does happen. Can you make the manager captain? Says Gregor. I'm in love with Ange Postecoglou. I love the interview. If y'all didn't see the interview yet on Spurs TV or on YouTube or whatever wherever they got it, it's not. I don't think the full thing is on Twitter, but go check it out. It's a great interview. I made my wife listen to it. I said, listen to the man talk about shrimp on the bobby. That was a really bad Australian accent, but my wife, all she said was, yeah, he sounds Australian, but she didn't get as fired up as I got. But yeah, hey, it's okay. I'm falling head over heels for Ange Postecoglou personally. Maybe I'm falling in love too fast. I don't know. Derek Smith. At the moment, I don't think we have the captain at the club yet. That's fair enough. So y'all saying you trust. I heard even us like James Madison get thrown around there too. For whenever I brought this up, I was on Sean's 10K victory show, 10K show that he did a show that he reached 10K. I called in. I was chatting with a few people about different captaincies. People told me Sonny doesn't have the captain's material. So it posed the question to me, what the hell is captain's material? If Ben Davies has it, if Harry Winks has it, if Eric Dyer has it, Harry Kane has it, but we all say he's not a vocal leader. He leads by example. What is it then? What is this captain's material? Kane is not captain's material, says Ben Edwards. Yeah, the perfect little segue. I didn't even know that was coming up. Put a fifth option with none of the above. I wish I could, but the YouTube poll only goes to 4. So apologies for that. No one's voted Pedro Porro out of 20 votes already. That's kind of funny. I thought that was a wild shout, but if he learned English, I wouldn't be up against it. But I feel like there needs to be some kind of universal language, unless everyone else speaks Spanish on the squad. That might be nice. The only one captain, Gary Mabbitt. Wouldn't that be nice? I think shout out Colin. I think I actually have something here for the Gary Mabbitt lovers. Boom, there it is. I got sent these cards from my buddy Colin with TH. Look at that. There he is, Mr. Gary Mabbitt. What do y'all think of that? I don't know. I just got sent that. I think it's kind of cool. Gives me a little bit of skin in the game as far as I have a card of an old player. Here's the link for Kuv and the Kang. They are live in just over 30 minutes. There's the link for some football chat, some games, and some laughs. Really great people. Go show some support. Hit the like and subscribe over there when you're done here. I wish I was going on longer so I could just redirect. Actually, I can still redirect, Bobby. So let me play with this 1 second. I'm gonna click this link. I'm going to take this link and I'm going to go to the YouTube's back end. This is a fun little technological, let's see, not that in. I got to go to content, live, hit this live, customization at the very bottom, a redirect. There it is. 3 Spurs boys. Let's see. I think you need to make your channel have all permissions. Nope. There it is. I found it. Boom. All right. So as soon as the stream ends here, it will redirect you over to that show link. It does start in 30 minutes. I might end a little bit before that, unless the chat gets popping and y'all want me to just keep talking. But I probably will end it just a little bit after I catch up with the chat just a little bit. Go check out 3 Spurs Boys. This will end. You don't have to go anywhere. It will redirect you. The magic of YouTube, the magic of technology, I guess. Let's see here. Scott M says, don't see a great fit for captain when Kane and Hugo leaves, but by default, I would give it to Bentancur. I love Son, but not sure he is a captain, which isn't a negative on him. But Scott, so now answer me this. Who's captain for the first 6 months of the season while we wait for him to come back? Big up Spurs Talk Show. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for joining. Always such a blessing when you join. All the viewers follow you as well. So big up to those of you that came over from there. At Spurs Talk Show, Bill says, Niall John, we did sign him to a contract, so that's always nice. Big up, Sean. Love chatting with you. Lovely guy. Hope nothing but the best for you. Yep, Spurs Talk Show. Spurs Talk Show's not on the road to 10K anymore. He's already there. He's already at destination. He's on the road to 25K now. I think that's the next milestone. Son has done military service, captain his country, but to some, he can't be a captain. That is the most. I don't understand it. I was of the mindset that's the most ridiculous take I've ever heard. But if it was more than one person, more than two people who told me that Son doesn't have captain's material. Bobby K says, no worries, bro. Link there. All good. There it is. It'll redirect as soon as I end this. Watch. Bobby, I hope you're here, tuned in. It'll send everyone over there, and y'all go smash the like. Got 52 likes on the video, so I really appreciate y'all doing that. It's free, costs nothing, and it really does help the channel. It helps me, helps Michael, helps us keep doing that on. Patty Hartnett, yes, of course there's a good stream after this. We've been plugging it. Jaw Dank says someone must rise to the occasion and the team must choose to be the superstars that they can be together. Really good point there. We need someone to rise to the occasion. That's what I think Son can be the one to rise to the occasion. Azzy says Son dragged South Korea out of so many losing positions, free kicks, 70-yard runs, and assists. This is a captain. You heard it here. This is one of the many points that I make as to why he should be a captain. But on top of all of that, what I will say, the main reason for me why Son, he bleeds Tottenham through and through. He bleeds Spurs. He's not this guy that we question how much he loves us. Saudi clubs come after him. Less than 24 hours later, he says, nah. I'm a Tottenham boy, and I ain't going nowhere. And that's what I appreciate from him the most. That's a leader. Someone who comes out and addresses the fans and says, no, I love you. You love me. I'm staying with Tottenham. There's one of many reasons. There's so many reasons why Son deserves captaincy if it's not Kane, in my opinion. Let's see what else is going on. Nick Brown says Son for me. There it is. Hopefully we would have someone come in or give it to Son. I wouldn't hate Son as our captain. There we go. Scott got the approval. We got the approval of Scott for Sonny being captain. I approve of that. I just think Bentancur, he ain't been here long enough. He hasn't bled Tottenham. He did bust his knee. He has hurt for Tottenham, and he was doing great for Tottenham. I mean, you could argue. A lot of people say that's when our season turned downhill for the worst, was when Mr. Bentancur got hurt. But yeah, it's a good topic. Patty Hartnett, this is a joke. You were trying to bait me, and by this is. I'm just going to play this. For those of y'all that don't always tune in and you're still here hanging out with me, I'm going to play you a clip as to why it doesn't matter if Eric Dyer is a Tottenham boy or whatever. There's so many defenses for Eric Dyer, it's absurd. But this is the main reason why he's got to go.
And you guys never win anything, right? No. Right? Yeah. And you guys.
He laughs that we're losers. He laughs. He thinks it's funny that we're a bunch of losers. I want that loser out of my club. That's weak mentality. Got to go. Definitely not a captain. Thank you for trying to trigger me there, Patty. Let's see. Jason Helm says it doesn't matter who the captain is. I dare someone not respect whoever it is and watch Ange deal with them. That's a good point that you just brought up. That Ange... This was something else I was trying to remember what I wanted to speak about. That whoever Ange Postecoglou chooses as our captain, I'm really interested to see who that's going to be, because it's obviously someone that he's given the okay, that he's got the mentality that embodies what Postecoglou is about, and that's what I want. I want someone who embodies what Postecoglou is about and someone that Postecoglou respects. So it's got to be someone who checks off those boxes, and that's what gives me a little hope. It gives me a little hope that our captain will be someone. Again, this is all like said earlier. It is a moot point if Kane is here, because obviously I think even if Lloris stays and we can't sell him, Kane needs to be our captain regardless if he's here. He's Tottenham boy. He's our talisman. He's everything. When Kane was injured, who got us to the Champions League final? Son. Giving a little grief there, with a little help from Lucas. Yeah, let's not forget, Son always carries the team when Kane's missing. That's true. Scott says, for me, that is a negative towards Son. Scott, I know that. Ronnie, that's a new name in the chat. Big up Ronnie. Says, Sonny can speak English and his interview skills are really good. That is also a leadership skill. Good point. That is a good point that hasn't been brought up. I brought up the English part, but the fact that in the public face. Like, for instance, I give Hugo a lot of grief because he's our captain. He quit on us after Newcastle, and then he hid, and we ain't seen him. And then we saw earlier in the stream when I was going through the player arrivals, his body language, all these different things. That's not a leader to me. A leader to me is owning up. You make mistakes. It's okay. We're human. We make mistakes. Own up to it. Show some responsibility. That to me is a leader. Big up, Ronnie. New name in the chat. DJ19 says whoever is made captain, it will be an inspired choice and promote team first qualities. Exactly. I think this goes hand in hand with Ange Postecoglou being the one hand picking that. Dyer is a joke for me. He is definitely a joke for me. Patty, you knew that would trigger me. I got an easy trigger. His name's Eric Dyer. Once he leaves, honestly, the Harry Winks, that used to be a trigger for me too. But now that he's gone, I don't have to say anything bad. I don't have to. I don't need to. It's unnecessary. It is beating something for no reason. He's gone, and that's what I've asked for. So finally, thank you, Winks, for your service. Goodbye. I said it earlier in the stream. Thank you, Winks. Goodbye. Dyer, I'll say the same thing. As soon as you're gone, I won't harp on about how much I don't like you. But while you're here, and while you're representing Tottenham Hotspur,
And you guys never win anything, right? No. Right? Yeah.
yeah, that's all I got to say. That is all I got to say about that, man. I cannot stand it. But Ronnie, actually, fans saying who will be the leader ain't that important, as the coach Ange will choose the one to be the captain. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just a food for thought, Ronnie. It wasn't necessarily I'm right, you're wrong, it has to be this guy. It's just I'm more curious of the thought process behind what is captain's material, what makes a captain, because I think that was the part that really confused me, why people included and discluded Sonny. For me, I included Sonny because he definitely embodies everything. Dyer to the Friar, ain't that right? Hopefully we can get Dyer out on a deal again. Give props to Levy or whoever it was that made the deal where we got Winks out and Madison in, all in one fatal swoop. That's very nice. That's efficiency right there, ladies and gentlemen. Scott M, for me, who Ange wants doesn't matter. I don't trust him, and he will be gone soon enough. What I will say, I guess, to back you up a little bit on this, Scott, Ryan Mason being involved still gives me a little bit like he might, that sounds like a contingency plan. That sounds like if I need to fire this guy, well, just put Ryan Mason in charge again. He's fine playing the guy who's always in the friend zone, who waits for that girl, and then she breaks up with the boyfriend, and then he's like, I'm there for you, baby. And then she's like, thanks. Okay, I feel better now, so I got another boyfriend. Then he's like, don't worry, I'm still your friend, and I'll be there for you. That to me is what Ryan Mason's doing. I don't have respect for that. I don't have a lot of excitement about that, and that makes me a little bit pessimistic that is the contingency plan that there is. And as a business, it's okay. You have a plan, and then you have a backup plan, and a backup plan to that backup plan. And I totally understand that, but come on, Ryan Mason. Surely that man's got to have some more aspirations for himself and his career rather than just to wait around like that. I don't know. Before I close out, I'm gonna read these last couple comments. Big up everyone if you're still here. I will be ending the show very shortly. Levy doesn't keep managers around long, and like you say, that little weasel Mason is right there ready to step in. He's waiting. Many people are doing it. I don't know what that's in reference to, Ronnie. But big up, Ronnie. Thanks for being here. Again, this is United Spurs of America. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe. Help us grow. Show some love. It's free. You don't have to do anything financially that way. All you gotta do is click it and like it. And it's very simple, very easy. Real quick, I'm gonna check. We are sitting on 1,403 subscribers. So big ups to the 5 of yous that have subscribed throughout this show. Big ups to the new, big ups to the old. Oh, there we go. 1,405 now. So 8 of you have now subscribed to the channel. Welcome to the 8 of you. Welcome to the people who've been here since the beginning. You all mean a lot to me. All the comments, they really do mean a lot to me as well. So big ups. Again, don't go anywhere. I'm going to play a little outro just because as a production man, I have to. It's obligatory. I have to have a little production value. So I will play a little bit of an outro. The stream will end, and then it will send you over to 3 Spurs Boys. Hit their chat, say USA Raid. Let them know that I sent you. Hit a like, hit a subscribe over there as well. Hey, big ups. Another person just subscribed. Big up to that new person. You heard me talking about it, and you say, you know what? I ain't subscribed subscribed, but I just did. Big ups to yourself for that. It means a lot to me personally and on this YouTube channel. So again, I can't thank y'all enough for showing some support tonight. Thank you for showing out for a little bit of a Saturday live stream. Again, tomorrow I will have a video coming out, so keep it logged. I'm trying to put something out every single day here on United Spurs of America, if at least a video 10 to 15 to 20 minutes long. Try not to be over 20 minutes or a live stream. So always more content coming. Working on that. So big up yourself right now. Hang tight. We'll play you a little outro, and then we'll send you over to 3 Spurs Boys. Go show some love. Their show starts in 25 minutes. That is the perfect amount of time to just go hit a like, get yourself a drink, use the restroom, get a snack, and settle on in for a little Saturday edition of the Couv and the Kang. But big ups, everyone. Again, I love seeing 50 people here. That means a lot to me. I've really been, feeling down about the way the channel's been performing lately. And Sean, shout him out. David, Irish Hotspur, David Harris with the Irish Hotspur. There've been some people I've leaned on heavily. There's some really good people that have spoken to me and, reinvigorated the fire within. So like I said, every day it will be coming to this channel. So do hit that like. You don't want to miss out. Hit that bell. But until next time, I'm Jacob. This is United Spurs of America. Big up yourself. Big up the lads. And come on, you Spurs. Coach. See you.